Hello and welcome to another Grand Arena video. Today I'm going to be going over my Grand Arena grand strategy. This is how I approach all of my Grand Arenas and how I have made my way all the way up into Kyber with an account with only 2 GLs and just under 6 million GP. So this is going to be applicable to all ranks, and this is kind of the strategy that I've used all throughout my time in Grand Arena. So getting into it, I have labeled this UPS, funny acronym, but it's U.P.S.E. Understand your capabilities, prepare your roster, scout your opponent, and execute your strategy. Now we're going to be going a little further in depth in each of these, but before we get further, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. All right, moving on. Understand. So this is one of the things that takes the longest and the most effort up front to do. So this is understanding your own roster. How big is your roster? Are you at 1 million, 2 million, 4, 6, 10? How much do you have to use? What I like to do is ask how many teams and how many fleets can I put out there? And on the right is just an example of something I do in a spreadsheet each Grand Arena round, where I list the teams and fleets available to me. And I usually, this leads out, excuse me. This leads in the second point, which is what is your roster quality? What can your teams beat? And vice versa, what can defeat them? So, like for example, I have SLKR and Ray are my 2 GLs. So I know that they can beat pretty much all the other GLs, some not very easy, some it's like a pretty sure bet. And so I know that if I see certain teams, then I need to bring one or both of those guys on offense. Next, prepare. So what I do to prepare for Grand Arena is I first of all set all of my weakest teams and fleets on defense. Now this is not just like your level 1 3-star Ewoks. It's your weakest usable, serviceable teams. You got leftover rebels from a GL, you got leftover Sith, leftover whatever. Put them on defense, see what you can come up with, and then evaluate what you have left for offense. And a note here is always to bring your solos on offense because they're useless on defense. If you didn't know by this point, the defense forces you to put the max number of tunes on defense, and so 3 and 3v3 or 5 and 5v5. You can't set a solo Wampa on defense, unfortunately. So the common solo characters are Wampa, Savage, Vader for certain situations like Geos mostly, Malik, Kylo Ren, and Memphis Nest. You're going to want to make sure you bring those on offense in order to secure the most banners possible. Next, you get into Grand Arena, round 1, you're on the setup phase, scout them out. Can I beat them? Or can I stop them? Sorry. Is there anything that I can put on defense that they just can't beat? Now this is going to require a lot of research, a lot of knowledge, a lot of trial and error, but is there something that you can set down like Ray? Can they just not beat a Ray team? Set it on defense. Is there a combination of teams that they can't beat? Say they've got a Wampa, but that's their answer. It's their only answer for Grievous, Iden, and Mon Mothma. You might be able to set a combination where they can only use Wampa on one of them. They only got one Wampa. And then they're going to have to spend more expensive teams on those other 2, and then they might not have enough to get through what's left. So really thinking about the the combinations and if you have any showstoppers. Flip that around, is there anything that you can't beat? Do they have a GL, like you run into a Leia and you have nothing that can stop a Leia? Is that the case? Can you two-shot it? Try to figure out, okay, what can I do? If you're truly stuck, then that's gonna change your strategy. You know, you might want to say, you know what, worst case scenario, they put something on Leia on the south wall. I can't get through it. I'm going through the north wall, and then I'm taking out as many teams on the south wall as I can. And then you have to say, all right, I need to set a strong defense and hope that they also don't get through my south wall, and then I can beat them on banners. And that's going to be key for the next part, which is execute. It's all about banners. So what I like to do is go pretty heavy on the offense. My goal is to be able to full clear my opponent, and that is because it's the best way to even the playing field against bigger rosters. It doesn't matter if they can full clear you, if you can also full clear them. Then what matters is the execution. Can you make them bleed banners? And can you maximize the banners you get on offense? Common ways to get banners on offense are soloing, because you get extra points for not using the rest of the slots. So if you bring in a solo Wampa, you're gonna get the 4 extra points for not bringing those other 4 open tune slots. And on defense, set annoying teams, because you get points, you get banners for full protection and full health. So if you put teams on defense that have AoEs, like lots of AoEs, stuff like that, where they might just roll your team, but because you had the AoEs and they managed to get an AoE or 2 out first, all of a sudden they don't have any of their protections. You just bled possibly 5 banners off of their attempt. And the more banners that you can bleed off of them, the more room you have in case things go south on your own attack. And lastly, you're going to want to take time to plan out your attack. Don't just rush into it. Look at what they set, pull it up in a spreadsheet and say, all right, I got this team go here, this team goes here, and we're gonna plan this out. And then we're gonna say, all right, let's do the riskiest battle first. Because if I drop that battle, I'm gonna have to reallocate my resources. And then go from there, be methodical. All right, and so that is my grand strategy. To recap, it's understand your roster, prepare, scout, and execute. If you follow those steps, no matter what your roster size, no matter where you are in the game, you will see improvements and you will climb in Grand Arena. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time.